Hey everyone, Mark Hespin here, host of On the Mark on News Talk 1070 KHMO, the KHMO app. Like and subscribe here to the YouTube channel at Mark Hespin. As always, you can follow me on all social media at Mark Hespin, MarkHespen, on X/Twitter, Instagram. And follow the show. If you don't listen every Saturday morning, News Talk 1070 KHMO, the KHMO app, you should listen. It's a lot of fun, I promise you. But follow the show on the Mark KHMO on Facebook. That's where I post the podcast, everything that we talk about on the show, including these YouTube videos. So we are just a couple days away from the AFC and NFC Championship game, and this is something I do every year on the show, and I wanted to do a special YouTube video version of it to talk a little bit more at length about it. And so I'm putting my NFL office brain on, right? I'm putting myself into the world of the NFL. I work now for the NFL. I am trying my best to reduce the fandom, get rid of anything, the fandom, and just say, what does the NFL want to see? So here they are in order. We have 4 possible matchups for the Super Bowl. There's as these teams remain. You could have Chiefs, Lions, Chiefs, Niners, Rams, Ravens, Lions, Ravens, Niners, right? So in order 1 through 4, what matchups does the NFL want? And I'll explain why the NFL wants it. Okay, so let's jump into it. Coming in at number 4, the matchup I think the NFL least wants for the Super Bowl, and this is just how great of a final teams we have, because this would be a great matchup. It's the 2-1 seeds, the Ravens and the Niners. Obviously, a lot of intrigue here, kind of a rematch of the Jim and John Harbaugh Super Bowl, especially if Jim is getting back into the NFL here soon, possibly with the Chargers. There's obviously a lot of the 1 seeds. Matchup-wise, the 2 best teams in each conference want going at it. I think why this would be 4th in my ranking is because we saw the Ravens destroy the Niners less than a month ago, or just about a month ago at this point in time. And I think that would worry, I think, some people in the NFL front office. We could be in for another blowout. Also, I just think Baltimore, smaller market, San Francisco, big market, big fan base. But overall, this I would put as the 4th matchup that the NFL wants to see. Number 3 would be Ravens versus Lions. The Lions are going to carry a ton of viewership if they make it to the Super Bowl, whether it's against the Chiefs or the Ravens. That is, I think, in the NFC side, the preferred team. If I'm the NFL, if I'm the NFL, I'm rooting for the Lions. Here, get your tinfoil scriptwriter hats on, right? NFL #NFL rigged. I don't think the NFL is rigged. Not trying to say that at all. But I think the NFL understands the Lions will be a heck of a story. America will be watching. You're already getting those teary videos that NBC was producing of the Lions fans that have, had the season tickets for so many years, and they're finally getting to see some playoff wins. So that, to me, puts it ahead. Now, why Lions-Ravens being the 3rd most desired matchup? Again, the Ravens beat the Lions pretty handily earlier this year. So I think a lot of that would be drummed on up. I think it would cause a little bit of fizzle as far as the excitement goes. The Ravens, I think, would be heavy favorites going into this matchup because of what happened earlier in the year. And again, as much as it's exciting for Detroit and Baltimore, those are the 2 smaller markets teams. It's not like having a Chicago, LA, or New York and LA, big markets. These are smaller markets overall. So even though there'd be good storylines for us as sports fans, overall brand recognition, market size recognition, the NFL, I think, wouldn't be thrilled overall with the Ravens versus the Lions. The number 2 matchup that the NFL wants, Chiefs versus the 49ers. Obviously, the Chiefs are the desired team for the NFL to get into to the Super Bowl because of brand recognition, because of Kelsey, because of Mahomes, because of Taylor Swift, all of the things that surround that. That's just a fact. The NFL understands that the Chiefs could be ratings gold. Patrick Mahomes also going for Super Bowl number 3. Huge. I mean, absolutely massive for the ratings. And as far as the Niners go, it's a really fun matchup, right? Niners are the 1 seed. These teams played each other in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago where Mahomes got his first one, a kind of a rematch, a redemption story for Kyle Shanahan. Big market San Francisco. Kansas City, smaller market, but huge global recognition, not just national recognition because of their superstar players. But the number one matchup, and I think it's the most obvious one, it is the one that if I was in the NFL office, if I was CBS, who has the Super Bowl, I'd be rooting for, and it's the Chiefs versus the Lions. You get the best story, which is the Lions, right? And this lovable loser kind of Cubs 2016 feel to it, right? And then you get the big bad Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. You get the Taylor Swift storyline. You get the Travis Kelce storyline. You get the Jason Kelce storyline. You get the Mama Kelce storyline. You get all of that, right? And so I think it's obvious the matchup the NFL wants the most is going to be the Chiefs versus the Lions. I'll say this about the Chiefs. Beyond, obviously, the Taylor Swift aspect of the Chiefs, I think it's really, really fascinating to think about the Chiefs as a Super Bowl team, just also in context of history. As sports fans, for me, myself, and I'm sure many of you watching feel this way too, Mahomes getting his third this quickly, Mahomes doing it while also having the multiple MVPs, 2 regular season MVPs. You'd assume if they make a Super Bowl and wins, they'll get his third Super Bowl MVP. He's not only on pace with Brady, but he's beyond pace with Brady because his stats and what he's done with the MVPs and what he's done numbers-wise is well ahead of Brady. I mean, this is extremely rarefied air. If Patrick Mahomes wins his third this year, you're talking he has to be starting to get compared to like Michael Jordan as far as like incredible, great all-time athletes who are not only winning a bunch early and in their prime, but also preventing some great NFL players from winning Super Bowls. He'll have prevented Lamar Jackson, a 2-time MVP, from winning a Super Bowl. He'll have prevented Josh Allen, one of the most gifted quarterbacks of all time, already from winning a Super Bowl. He will have stood in the way of some really historically great Niners teams. He'll have stood in the way of a really, really talented Philadelphia team from winning a Super Bowl. That is a great storyline in and of itself. And then everything that goes into it with the Lions playing the lovable losers. It was the first game of the NFL season, remember? People were hating on why the Lions getting that Thursday night game against the Chiefs on banner night when the Lions upset the Chiefs. So there's a lot of great juicy storylines, Lions versus Chiefs. If I'm the NFL, if I work for the NFL, if I work for CBS, that is what I am rooting for. Now, just because that's what we're rooting for, if that's what ends up happening as of Monday, if we're talking about a Chiefs versus Lions Super Bowl, there's going to be a ton of people out there, tinfoil hat people, NFL rigged script writers. I don't believe in that stuff at all. I just don't think you can make it work that way. I do think there's a 25% chance of it happening. Look, there's only 4 outcomes, so there's a real chance it could end up happening. And I also think, how blessed are we as football fans? A lot of times when I do this and you get some of those, when Jacksonville made the playoffs in the Final Four and some matchups, some of these matchups just aren't desirable. All 4 of these matchups, I think, will be really great matchups. If the Ravens are involved, no matter who they're playing, it is can you beat a team twice? And can you beat them bad twice? And for whoever's playing the Ravens, it's all about that kind of redemption arc, right? Can you avenge the loss earlier in the year? With the Chiefs are in it, you have the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid legacy storyline. For the Lions, the lovable losers. And for the Niners, Kyle Shanahan, can he finally get over the hump? Can he, from the 28-3 loss to the loss to Kansas City, Mahomes' first Super Bowl, finally getting back there after multiple NFC Championship game losses in a row. A lot of good storylines all across. We are very, very lucky with this Final Four. Let me know in the comments, which is the matchup you most want to see? Do you think I'm right? Do you think the NFL most wants to see Chiefs versus Lions? Which matchup are you rooting for? Which one do you think has the most intrigue? And as always, follow me on all social media at Mark Hespen, MarkHespen. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll see you Saturday morning on News Talk 1070 KHMO.